is up? My name is Megan and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new, and welcome to part 2 of my unhaul. There might be a part 3 because I keep unhauling and selling more books, but if you have not seen part 1, I will leave it in the cards up here. You don't need to watch them in particular order, but you know, if you like some unhauls and want some more, don't forget to watch part 1 if you have not. And without further ado, let's hop on in. The first book on this stack is run by Cody Keplinger. This is actually an ARC. I will not be selling this. I will just be donating it. Jesus, I can't talk. This was published in 2016. I'm never gonna read this story now. I have no interest in it, unfortunately. It is just too YA for me currently. So we also have American Royals by Catherine McGee with the cool sprayed edges. This I just could not for the life of me get into the writing, and it has become like a series. I'm not going to commit to a series I don't like, so I'm passing it on to someone who hopefully will. We also have Chasing Lucky by Jen Bennett. I think I've mentioned this in one of my previous unhauls, but I've tried Jen Bennett several times. Loved one of her books, was a 5-star read ever since then. Have not found one book of hers that I did not DNF, so it is the end of my journey with Jen Bennett. Unhauling this one. A surprising one is The Pear's Apartment by Lucy Foley. This is a thriller. Lucy Foley wrote The Guest List, which is one of my favorite thrillers of all time. This one I gave 2 stars. I know a lot of people love it. It's just not for me. I didn't really care for the Pear's descriptions, and nor was I intrigued in the actual plot before the end 50 pages, so not for me. We also have Leia on the Offbeat by Becky Albertalli. I don't like Leia as a character in this. She's fine in Love, Simon. That's what the movie's called. Simons versus the Homo sapiens agenda. Jeez. So yeah, not a fan of her character in her own book, so I'm not gonna keep it. I feel like they did her dirty in the book. That's just my personal opinion. One I am super disappointed about unhauling, but I just could never get into it, is We Are the Wildcats by Siobhan Vivian. This I was really interested in because it's a field hockey young adult. I played field hockey for many years, but the writing style of this author is just not for me. We also have If It Makes You Happy by Claire Kahn. I have lost interest in this. I had bought this used and unfortunately just never got around to it, and I will not, so passing it on. I also have Always Never Yours by Emily Weberly and Austin Sigmund Broca. This was their first book. Again, see, I tried tabbing, I tried reading this, I could not get into it. This was a DNF, and again, one of their books was a 5-star read, and other than that, I have never gotten into one of their books without stopping reading because I'm so bored, and I don't like the main character at all in this one. We also have Pride by Ibi Zoboi. I don't really have anything negative or positive to say about this one. Just know I'm unhauling it. We also have Heretics Anonymous by Katie Henry. This one I am very on the fence on if I'm going to unhaul or not. It is like a comedic YA, and I know some of my booktube friends have really enjoyed this author's writing. I just don't have the motivation to pick it up, so if you think I should read this, please let me know in the comments. We have Love at First Like by Hannah Ornstein. I think she's the one who wrote like a gymnastic romance that I'm still looking forward to, but this one has gotten so many negative reviews that I just don't want to read it anymore. And usually I'm not that girl. Like, I can still really enjoy a book even if it has negative reviews, but this one, what the reviews specifically say, just not for me. We also have Of Curses and Kisses by Sandhya Menon. This author's writing, not for me. I've tried it with When Dimple Met Rishi. I tried it again with this one. It's not working. I can't pinpoint why, it just doesn't. We also have How to Hack a Heartbreak. This is one I got for like a couple of dollars, but never got into the story, which is unfortunate because it had a plot line that sounded interesting, but I'm just really not that into it. So hopefully someone finds it and enjoys it more than I did. Another book I found used, and then it got so much hate that I was like scared to read it and then just never did, is Waiting for Tom Hanks by Carrie Woodfrey. I love adult romances, but just this got so many, again, reviews for things I really don't enjoy in books. so it's kind of stopped me from trying to pick it up. Another Katie Henry, which again, if you think I should read her books, let me know, because I'm on the fence for these. I'm not totally off reading them. This is Let's Call It a Doomsday. If I should keep either this one or both, please let me know, because I feel like I just need extra encouragement to read those. Then we have What I Like About You, and this is one I had extremely high hopes for. I was like, this is going to be my favorite YA, I have a feeling, and then I read 50-ish pages and I was like, absolutely freaking not. The writing, the character is so annoying and infuriating in this one. Not for me. We also have The Best Laid Plans by Cameron Lund. I love the cover for this one and I was very excited about it. Unfortunately, it reads too much like young YA for me, and this is not criticism on the book. I am 26 years old now. I'm not the target audience, but it just felt too juvenile, so I will not be continuing with it. We also have Frozen Beauty, and this one I tried picking up and the vibe is just weird. Like, I don't know if I would enjoy this or not. I have not seen anyone talk about this book or read it, so it's very hard for me to kind of picture myself reading it or not. If you have read it and have similar tastes to me, please let me know what you thought of it. But yeah, again, I am not bashing these books or the authors. I just want to put that out there. It's just, it's not for me, and they've been on my shelves for a while and it's just not gonna happen. So we're getting rid of them to make space, because as you can see, I have a lot of books. We also have I'll Be the One, and this I had purchased used when I was in the thick of like reading YA romances. This has a like pop star element. I don't know, I think it's K-pop. Yeah. And I don't like K-pop stories. It's not for me. I do love a rock star romance, but it has to be adult, or the exception of like new adult that's verging on YA sometimes. But I'm sure someone out there will really enjoy that book. We also have Well Met by Jen DeLuca. I have just unfortunately not vibed with this author's writing as well. This has become like a series of companion novels that has to do with a Ren Fair. Another one I am super sad about unhauling is Tell Me How You Really Feel, and this I tried reading several times. It's a sapphic romance, and I was like, yeah, like I'm in for those vibes, but the writing is just not great in my opinion. And at first I saw really great reviews for this, and then I saw a few people kind of share the same opinion as me, so I felt validated. We love that. We also have Made You Up by Francesca Zappia, who is the author of Eliza and Her Monsters, which is one of my all-time favorite YAs. This has to do with mental health, but I'm very scared of this because I'm not sure how it's going to portray mental health, and it like, even the back says she used to be crazy, she wasn't prepared for normal, and I don't like the word crazy being used in reference to mental health. So I've been on the fence for reading this. This was published a long time ago, so it's nothing against the author, and I'm sure it does great things, but like 2015. Where were we in 2015? I don't even remember, so I'm not gonna risk it. We also have What I Like About Me, and this again, like the font of this, I'm not even sure it's gonna focus, but it's huge, and it reads like very juvenile YA, and like I do read middle grade, but it's just the topics that are explored in younger YA, just I don't care about them anymore, but they are going to do great things for younger people. I am sure of that. This one is also a super great disappointment. It is Let's Get Textual by Tegan Hunter. I've heard great things about this author specifically, and this had to do with like anonymously knowing each other, like people texting and then not knowing their real identity and that kind of romance. They are some of my favorite romances ever. I got halfway to page like 150, so I was halfway through this book and I was like, you know what? No, it's way too cringe. And And on this stack we also have The Female of the Species by Mindy McGinnis. I've had this for years. I am just not ready for the emotional trauma that comes with this book, and I've made my peace with that. I see so many terrifying things as a social worker. I don't want to read about it in my books. Does that make me a bad person? Maybe it does. I don't care. Moving on to the next bag. So we're definitely going to need a part 3 to this video because I've also been cleaning out the books I had at my parents' house, and there's a lot. I do want to note I have sold my series of Throne of Glass. It's already been sold thanks to Facebook Marketplace, so that's gone. I also have the Red Queen series. The 3rd book is currently on hold for someone, so I'm not going to mess up my book pile, but the entire series is going. I tried Red Queen. It's very cliche, not in a bad way. A lot of people really enjoy this. It's just not what I was looking for the limited amount of fantasy I read. So we have Red Queen, Glass Sword, and the other one is like King something. I don't remember, but someone wants to buy that one. And I'm very happy for them. Wow, the stack is getting very intense. So we'll do one last stack of books for this one, and then you'll have to come back for part 3. Subscribe if you're not already to be notified for the last part, hopefully, of this unhaul series for now. The next book I'm unhauling is this version of Sunny Disposition. I love this book and I want to share it with someone else in the world. I got sent the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful alternate covers for the series, which I will be keeping and collecting. So this one can go because I don't need 2 copies of this, but loved it. I think it was like a 4.75. Highly recommend. We also have The Darkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken. This is the first in a series. I will not commit to reading the rest of the series. I tried reading this book. I'm not a fan. Similarly, we have Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. This I tried reading probably 5 times. I'm not even kidding you, and I get like 3 chapters in. See, the last time I tried reading it, I got 15 pages in and I gave up. It's too complicated for my little pea brain. We also have Grace and Fury. This is like an Owl Crate exclusive with signed pages. I never wanted to read this. I got it in the Owl Crate when I had like Owl Crate for 3 months. Not a vibe. Not doing that again. We also have A Whole New World by Liz Braswell. This is the Aladdin retelling. It's going. We have this bind up, very floppy, of Narnia. I don't know how I have 2 of these. So one of them is going to go and I'm keeping the other one because they are beautiful books. It's great to have in the collection and be reminiscent and kind of nostalgic with. But oh my god, this is getting out of hand. We also have The Night Circus, which is a beautiful copy. I am selling this to someone who really loves books and also has content, like makes Instagram posts and everything. So it will be going to a nice home. I just don't like Erin Morgenstern's writing, but I know she's a fan favorite, so don't come for me. And finally, in this portion of the haul, we have Miss Peregrine's Home for the Peculiar Children series. I think I got this discounted a lot at Indigo when I saw the movie and I was like, oh my god, I need to read the books. The books have not been read. And that's all I'm gonna say. Don't judge me. A lot of them were bought used. And as I explained in my last unhaul, we grow and change, as does our reading taste, and it feels good to unhaul. I'm selling some, donating some, and recurating my library to fit my reading taste. So that's it for today's portion of the unhaul. Stay tuned for more videos and hopefully what will be the last part of this unhaul. Bye guys, happy reading!